Okay, so first of all, good, from our trusted clients, and just jump into the, things like the why InfoSec train. Many of you might have trained, training with me with InfoSec train. Few names I can recognize in the chat, the attendees list, who is, quite familiar to me, and it's good to see few of you coming back after a long time as well. Okay, now if I will talk about today's agenda is going to be talking about understanding evolving threats, because if we give you the need why we require this, then proactive threat hunting, its importance, and then CYSA plus and threat hunting methodology. Okay, what CYSA contain? Okay, and then incident response life cycle and developing an incident response plan. So from where I want to start from this point, which will be incident response life cycle and developing an incident response plan. Because once we will be understanding this, I will be just jumping back into the something like, your evolving the threats, evolving the, all the part over there, right? Now, when we talk about all these scenarios over here, so we'll be going ahead and we'll be starting with the incident response. Okay, now guys, I am going to take few of the pre-assumption for the session over here, because I'm just going to have, like, if you are coming for the session like threat hunting, incident response, basics of cybersecurity, you guys have already covered. If not, you guys can go to our InfoSec Trains website. You can go to our YouTube channel as well. There you'll be finding some repositories. If you are looking for some basic cybersecurity course curriculum, you can jump in, grab those as well. Okay, offers. There will be multiple of the basic security related videos. We usually do every year. Run some program where we just talk about. We just nurture the your young kids, and even young people who is coming to the field of cybersecurity. We give them the free boot camp kind of a thing. So you'll be finding multiple free boot camps on the basics of cybersecurity. So if someone wants to start from there, guys, you are going to go ahead, start from there, because directly on this particular point I'm going to talk about incidents, events, right, and all the things over there. So I'm going to take a bit of the pre-assumption that you guys are going to be familiar with the basic of cybersecurity terminologies, and then we can move ahead and we will be talking about the incident response plan and the developing the complete life cycle, how it is going to work, how it is being used. All these things are going to be the part over there, right? Because when we talk about the threat hunting, before threat hunting, there will be another checklist that you have to complete, right? Threat hunters is something like, if you would see, one of the, in my personal opinion, two of the jobs which I personally love in cybersecurity field, or the titles that I love, is going to be the threat hunter. It sounds very cool. Okay. With that, the cyber forensic investigators. Okay. Again, that sounds something cool, like what you see in the movies, in the, your daily life series. So that, two things that are personally favorite. So, again, giving you a heads up, that might be, if I will be directly jumping over here, few things might go, beyond the boundaries over here. So just, stick with it. And, I hope you have those basics clear out before jumping into this one. Okay. So let's just go ahead and let's just talk about this. Okay. Now, we will do what? We will be starting with the incident response life cycle. The main goal of this life cycle is going to be to minimize damage and recovering from the security threat itself. Now, when we talk about the incident response life cycle is something that is always going to be there. So it is an structured approach which any organization will use to identify, to contain, to eradicate, and to recover from the security incident. It is like, going to be a very well rehearsed fire drill for cybersecurity, making sure that they know it is coordinated and there are efficient response to minimize your damage. So if we will talk about the different stages, first of all, we know, as you guys will be familiar, that we are gonna go ahead and we guys are going to follow CYSA plus for this particular webinar. So I'm talking incident response, I'm talking threat hunting, that I'm talking from the point of view of the CYSA plus certification course. If someone who is not familiar with this, towards the end of this particular video, I will explain a bit about this, your CYSA plus as well, what it is, what you can get out of it, how this certificate is going to be very, very utilized. And if so, you are someone from the North American region, you will be finding that CompTIA certificates are very high in demand over there. And yes, even if you are going to be CompTIA as some federal employees, you need one of the certificate, and there are a list of the certificates, and one of those are going to be the CompTIA. If you have them, it is going to increase your chances always. So when we talk about the all this thing, so this thing is going to be from the point of view of the CYC plus. Now this particular diagram you will be finding in your CYC plus book as well, and from where it has been derived. So I think most of the people will be here familiar again that there is going to be the a very specific organization called your NIST, okay, which is going to just keep giving you these kind of the standards and all over here. Now, when we talk about all these standards and incident response life cycle over here, so same with the incident response as well. Like I'm saying, it is going to be a structured approach for the organization to identify, to contain and eradicate and recover from the security incident. So how this thing should be planned, who should be in the team, all has been defined by the your NIST Computer Security Incident Handling Guide, which is NIST 861. And if I'm correct, that is going to be the revision 2 over here right now that will be working. So I will take you to the official guidelines over there. So you can see National Institute of Standard and Technology, NIST, has been publishing a lot of things from risk management framework to the cybersecurity framework to incident handling guide. All these things you will be finding over there. Now, when if you are working when or if you are working with the governance, implementing all the things, you might be, familiar with the your all these scenarios to implement to everything. Now, those incident responses, those structure, those steps has been taken officially from this particular guide over here. Now, in this particular guide, you will be finding all the resources over here. So you'll be going here, you'll be finding out that what is going to be the different incident response plans, life cycle. Here you will see incident response team will be containing of who, right? It will be talking about the incident response, the other parties who will be involved, how the team model should be over there, and all the things will be over there from budget to everything. Now, the diagram that you are seeing is simply picked up from here. Here you will see it is like a 4 cycle that they have given, but yes, for the easy understanding of all the candidate, we are dividing it into the your you know 5 stages over here. First, it is going to start with the preparation over here, that you will be going ahead and you will be preparing yourself. Means first thing first, you need to be prepared for the incident if incident is going to be there. So in an organization, we generally do what? Risk assessment, okay, which will talk about the risk, their likelihood, their impact. Now, if we know those things, might be we will be based on that, we'll be preparing ourselves. So might be there is a risk that ransomware can hit us, right? Now, I will be preparing myself that this is going to be called an incident. Now, if that incident happen, who will be in my team, right? How they will be acting, what will be their job, what role I need to provide to them. This is all going to be the part over there. Once we understand all this thing, we will be preparing, the plans, the tools that is required and everything. So you'll be always starting with the preparation over here. Now, once you prepared properly, next thing is going to be your, I can say identification and the analysis, which is detection and analysis over here. Okay. Now, what is going to happen with this one? Okay. Balbon is saying that he is unable to hear. And guys, if I'm not, everyone do let me know or else him know that we are audible over here. Okay. Sound is clear. John is saying, great. Okay. Detection and analysis is going to be your second phase. So this is where you'll be detecting a potential security incident. So it could be triggered by any of the security alert. It could be triggered by any unusual system activity, by the employee reports, or even by your threat intelligence feed over there. Now, The goal here is going to be to gather the evidences, understanding the nature, scope, incident, the scope of incident, and assess what it can do. Then there is going to be your containment, right? So containment is limiting the scope and magnitude of that particular incident. So here we focus on stopping the incident from spreading and preventing any further damage over here. So this might involve isolating the infecting system, disabling the account, all those kind of a thing. Then the swift containment, it is going to minimize the attack surface and is going to prevent attacker from gaining the any foothold into your network, into your organization over here. Then there is going to be the your eradication and recovery part over here. So once the incident is going to be contained, the goal is going to be remove the root cause of the problem, right? So this could be involving like, if there is a malware, removing it, patching vulnerabilities, all those things, sort of thing you will be doing here. And then there is going to be the, with the eradication, we will be coming to the recovery part. So recovery is, this stage is going to be focused on restoring the effect of the system, data, it's, putting it back to the functional state that it can function again. So backups are going to play a very crucial role at the recovery part over there, so that you are restoring a clean data and minimizing the downtime over there. So resource, recovery is going to involve like documenting, a lot of the things over there as well. And the last thing, which sadly I am very vocal about, and sadly around 60% of organization I have seen missing the very last thing. Okay, this is the place that I ask, I literally beg every organization to just focus on this one, right? I mean, focus on this if you want to improve. Okay, so just like as a human nature, if you cannot improve yourself unless you will start seeing your flaws, right? So you have to see your flaws in the post incident activity as well, and you have to be better. Okay, what you can do better in those situations, how things can get more and more better, right? So if you want to become better, you have to see your flaw. As a person, I always see the, my flaws as well. So same here as well, you'll be seeing that where we lagged and what we can improve. In simple terms, this is going to be the post incident activity that is going to be the. Now let's erase everything from the slide. And now if we'll be talking about these, things, you might be seeing bit of these arrows again, taking you to the circle and circle. Now I will give you a simple reason over here. For example, if you were having a PC over here, which was infected by a malware. Now, it was infected by a malware. Indeed, you remove it, now eradicated it, you restore the, backups and everything. Now, thing is, again, I'm not just simply going to go ahead and introduce it back to my production environment. I will be still a bit skeptical about this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and again put it under the detection and analysis. That is it showing again the sign of being compromised? Any other back doors I can find or any other thing? That is going to be the one of the thing that will be, my target over here. Then next thing is going to be the, again going to the containment, again eradication recovery. When I will be sure everything is good, perfect, I will be introducing it back to the my production environment. Now, last thing, post incident activities taking you back to the preparation. Why? Like I was saying, learn from your mistakes, right? Learn from your flaws. Okay. So when, as a human, and I have one more saying, okay, life is too short from learning from your own mistakes. So, try to learn from the others' mistake as well. It will help you for sure. Okay. That's why we have those, multiple platform where if any incident happen, they share all the threat intelligence feeds with you from how they got compromised. There are the, those ISAC centers, okay, which gives you the each industry-based ISAC centers, which gives you the idea that what happened in the last attack. If let's say, for example, you are someone who is in the finance industry, so there is going to be the, one place from where you can gather all the, event and all. So if one industry in the, finance, domain got impacted, they will be publishing their report that okay, this happened with us, and you can improve yourself from that. You can go ahead, you can learn about those things, and just simply it will be helping you out at the all cost over there, right? So this is going to be over there. Now, Post incident activity, I learn that where I was lacking. And then I will be including that in my preparation plan that yes, here I was lacking. So let's just go ahead and fix this thing, right? So, because if it ain't broke, so we are not going to change that particular thing. So we will try to improve whatever we have learned. That's why these arrows you are seeing are going in these directions over here all the time. Okay, so this is the phase. And again, that if you guys are interested into this document, let me just give you this link on the chat over here. When we will talk about all these phases, talking about the incident and all, now we have to start with the very first phase is going to be the preparation. Okay. Now, to be honest, I haven't include any of the slide for the preparation. Okay, because I just want to discuss this with the as a normal thing over here. Now, when we are looking at this first phase, is the preparation phase over there. So it is making the system. Okay, starting with the creating the plans over there. So first of all, you in the planning, we need to have some incident response policies over there. So we need to have policies, we need to have procedures over there. So for example, if I'm talking about the incident response policies, so what is the organization's expectation and procedure for responding to any security incident? So these policies are going to describe which incident type must be reported, and it should be providing you the proper description, taking the in the event of the incident, the rules, the responsibility that will be involved over there, communication protocol, how you will be communicating with each other. That is going to be the part which is going to be over there. Okay. Now, with this thing, what you will be doing is, the organization, they will be developing a timeline for responding to the incident. They will be including the timeline for responding to them. It should be also including the timeline for determining the cause of incident, the recovery process, and the steps to prevent similar incident in the future. So that is going to be consisting of all of your, security incidents over there. Okay, so the preparation. So in the preparation, first thing that is, I would say important is going to be the incident response policies. Okay, then second thing you'll be focusing on incident response procedure. Okay, means these things you have to think in advance over there, right? And if we go with these things, you'll be quite prepared over there, right? When we talk about the second thing, incident response procedures. Okay, so the actions that you will be, it will be describing kind of the my organization's action during those incident response. So these will be including the protocol for how different part of the organization going to work together to mitigate the incident and the procedures and how they should be reporting it. So for example, if there is, I was taking the example of ransomware earlier. So there will be a ransomware playbook which will describe the people, the processes, and even the tools that need to be employed during the event. And it should include things, consideration for determining which system were impacted, method by which impacted system can be immediately isolated, and then identification and engagement with the people that need response. So ransomware responses, they should be including like disconnecting and isolating network as quickly as possible. So it is preferable to disconnect system as opposed to powering them off in order to maintain the forensic integrity, as well as potentially being able to extract the cryptographic keys from system memory, which is being used for the remediation, right? So few things, you have to think about over there, that how these things. So might be you'll be requiring a different tools. You require SIM solution, IDS, vulnerability scanner, NetFlow analyzer, infrastructure monitoring tools, proxies, gateways. What is going to be the part you are going to define all these things over there itself, right? And in the preparation itself, we will be identifying potential threat. Okay, so when you are preparing these procedures, so all this is in the part of the preparation. we will be trying, but like I was saying, that there is risk assessment done. So risk is there. So with those risks, we are looking that if there is a, what are the potential threats that is going to be over there. With those potential threat, the incident which can generate, we'll be looking for all those kind of things on, one part to another, what is going to happen, how things are going to be working over here. So we'll be, just jumping into the planning a bit more in depth. So in short, that when those incident they occur, we did not find ourselves in a situation that we don't know what is going to be, go ahead and how to work at the proper particular time itself on the scenarios over there, right? Now when we go ahead, then second thing is going to be the your spotting the threat. Okay, so second step is going to be the detection and analysis. Now when we talk about this detection and analysis, we are going to go ahead and we will be, I'm going to call it spotting the threat, right? So we'll be detecting and analyzing the threats over there. Now detection, although in the preparation a lot of things are there, means you have to prepare your teams, okay, how the communication is happening, and later on I will talk about that. It will be the combination of multiple people over there which will be working over there. Okay, now usually what will happen, when you are disconnecting the devices in the identification, like you were saying, preparing for the thing. So what we will be doing, then the forensic, your buddies will be jumping in after that, collecting the evidences. So collecting the evidence is going to be the something like, you will be going ahead and making the images. That's why we are saying we prefer to disconnect them instead of powering off, because whatever is running, so we can at least make the copy of the memory, use the tools like Belkasoft RAM capturer or autopsy or anything, creating the forensic sound image of that, and just simply get ourselves some evidences over there. Okay, now, but before we move that much forward, okay, so we have to go with the spotting the your particular threat, that how things are going to be over there. Now, when we talk about the identification and analysis, so there are multiple ways for us to go ahead and detect it. For example, when we talk about the security incident, so we can identify those incidents through the different mean, including things like the security alert, which is going to be generated by your security tools. Then there could be some unusual system activity that is detected by the monitoring system. Okay, sometime I think many of you who are working in your organization as well, there will be something like, for employees to submit their own, responses as well. For example, if they find that there is a phishing attempt, I can submit the report over there. Okay, if sometime I found the links, the mail which is part of the spams, reporting those kind of a thing as well, so that we can improve our security. So employees can also report these kind of a thing like that. Any unauthorized access attempts, if they see over there in their system, in their files, devices, you can find those kind of a thing. And in the end, there is going to be the threat intelligence feed, which will be providing us the information about the current threats and vulnerabilities that is going on, like what we call, you know, campaigns that is going on, you know, campaigns that is going on nowadays over there. So always there is, something that is going on in the market, like through the phishing attempt or malware is peeking up, targeting multiple resources. So all that is going to be the part of your detecting the threat intelligence over there. So most important thing over here is going to be your SIM tool, right? So I guess you guys must have heard about the SIM. Okay, if you have heard about the SIM tool, what is the full form of your SIM tool? So as you know, security information and event management SIM, it is going to help, security analysts to perform data in the log analysis to detect and investigate the security incidents that is going to be over there. So it will be analyzing from multiple sources around, from network device to servers to applications to security software, like the IDS, IPS, and anti-malware system. So there are specialized algorithm. They are going to be the core feature of SIM, and they will help you to identify any suspicious pattern, and even anomalies in the log data. For example, the SIM solution, they can detect any suspicious login attempt, any abnormal network traffic, any unusual system activity. So they will provide you the real-time alert and security analyst when potential security incidents are going to be detected. It will enable them to investigate and respond to potential threat quickly. Okay. Now these platform, they are going to have an enriched amount of lot of log data coming and out. Now I will show you guys one of the things which I'm working nowadays, that is going to be the Microsoft Azure's Microsoft Azure's Sentinel. Okay. And this is the cloud-based SIM solution, bit different from your on-premises SIM solution that is going to be over there. So it is going to be the bit different one over there. Okay. Now with the SIM, when we talk about SIM solution, these are going to be the identifying all those suspicious pattern, logins, and everything. Right now, when we are talking about the threat intel, right? We talked about the threat intelligence feed. So let's just go ahead and explore this part a bit. So when I'm saying that you will be getting the threat intelligence feed, so there are first always going to be the, we have two options. One is something like an open source, and second is going to be something like, your, proprietary solution, which is going to be like, if, okay, if you guys are working, you might have heard, with the defense side SOC or SIM tool and SOC centers. So you might have seen or heard about something which is called your X Force, IBM X Force, right? So if I will open this one, although this is totally proprietary solution, you need a subscription to this one over here. And this thing we will work with the IBM QRadar very flawlessly. Okay, so if you'll be seeing here, I agree to this and I am going to enter as a guest. This means I cannot go ahead and see all the threat intelligence that is going to be over there. But one thing that you can go and you can see kind of a dashboard and thing, that is going to be the part. Now, one more thing, these threat intelligence give us something which we are going to call your IOC. Okay, so we'll be calling them, these things like here, you will be seeing some IP addresses. Okay, you will be seeing sometime some hash value, which we call signatures. You will be seeing sometime URL, domain name. All these things are going to be called IOCs. And I hope you guys familiar with the IOC. We call them indicator of compromise. Okay, so these IP addresses, there is going to be some hashes. What these things, that is called going to be called threat intelligence. A simple example, if let's say that we know right now a campaign is going on, phishing campaign, which is saying people that in India, this is going to be the time for you recently might have filled your IT your ITR forms. So you'll be going for the ITR. So it will be saying that you have let's say that because it actually happened in the US around 2018. Then again 2020 it emerges emotet malware. Okay, so what it was doing, it is targeting people with the kind of the mail which is saying your IRS is pending. So just similarly, we are filling the ITR. So it was doing that. So it was sending those mails to people. Let's say that that particular campaign is going on. Now we know that these are very specific IP addresses that is going to spread that malware or send that particular phishing your mails. So what we can do, first of all, we can be a bit more proactive. Okay, we can block them onto our, through the firewall, through the our blacklist kind of a thing. And if somehow it was not, already in there, and they have gone through our defenses and they are inside that, further I can do the investigation that how many of these IP addresses are being, detected connection with my, incoming or outgoing connection with these IP addresses. I can go ahead and investigate things like these over there. So we know these will be called my indicator of compromises. This portal which I am right now, it is IBM X-Force, and it is going to be the uh, proprietary solution. More it will be something like which you will be have to you have to see something like this of me pay here. to get the complete detail. Like on the left hand side, you will see some reports over there, like hacktivist group threatened to attack Swift network. Okay. Then here, ITG5 uses a fake Hamas execution video as a bait. Okay. Then Hive continues to die. So, here it is a sample file. So I can open it because it is a sample just for the, things it is just going to be over there. Right. Now here, if we will go in here, no indicators over here, just simply an overview, what is happening, detail that has been given over there, and you can read about it. Few of the posts are going to be over there. So they are just going to keep collecting these resources and things. Same advisory, OSINT advisor is over there. So it is going to again give you some of the sample reports on that. You are going to have threat group report. So you'll be having the specific threat group profile reports over there. This is just simply an samples that they are giving. They are not giving you the full thing. So you can see comment was deleted by user, mandate report, telecom reported, and all these kind of a thing. So if you will keep seeing these things, you'll see malware analysis report. I hope that it has something like which we can use like indicators. Great. It has few indicators over there. So like here, you will see that it is going to be one signature that is being used with this one. It is in the SHA-256 format. Here, I can use second one. Okay, here you can see it is another of your SHA-256. Actually, that this is another of your threat intelligence that is being used over here. So this is the another part over here. So these kind of things are going to be over here, which you can utilize for the moving ahead and getting the information. So these are there are multiple paid platforms, but what I would suggest people, if you are interested, so you can go ahead and use something like the Alien Vault OTX. Okay, now Alien Vault OTX is going to be the open source, open threat intelligence exchange over there. So we can jump into the Alien Vault OTX. And here, I will drop this link if someone is interested, you guys can sign in over here right now. Okay, so I will paste this one, okay, free one, because it gives you the some good one. I'm going to go with this one and just allow me a minute. I will be just logging in here, and I have to actually grab my password. To be honest, trying to remember each and every one of them. Okay, so just allow me a sec, and I will be jumping in here and logging in over there. So I have to just open my login files to get the credentials over there. Okay, and even I would suggest if you guys are, interested in this, seeing this thing, you should be having your account. Okay, I will be using my demo account for this one. Okay, so here I just logged in onto this part. So I am going to be, it will be loading some of the pulses for me. You can jump into the dashboard in the meantime as well. Here you'll be seeing all the combinations of the things over here. So you'll be seeing some of the, Trojan droppers over here. You can see some of the, your backdoor windows 32. Oh, great, good number. So you can just simply go ahead, category wise as well. So these are the malware cluster. Category wise as well, you can go ahead find the indicator of compromise. Apart from that, like you can go ahead and you can subscribe to the different your publishers over here who is publishing about the threat intelligence. So there are going to be some independent researchers. There are going to be the Alien Vault as well. So here you can see all the different things. Like here, I'm saying something like the Moonstone Sleet emerges as a new North Korea North Korean threat actor with a new bag of tricks. So, what Microsoft has identified, various tricks and all. So, what they do, right? So, you can get an idea. Like, if I will read this out, so Microsoft has identified Moonstone Sleet, a new North Korean threat actor that employs various tactics, including creating a fake companies, distributing Trojan as a legitimate tool, which is happening nowadays a lot of time. Okay, developing a malicious game and deploying the custom ransomware. So this actor is combining method used by the North Korean groups and unique attack methodology, initially overlapping with the diamond sleet, right? So Moonstone Sleet has since established itself as a distinct, well-resourced threat actor targeting companies for financial gain and cyber espionage, which looks very intriguing, very interesting as well, right? So this threat platform is completely free. It is an open source, and that's why I have given you the link. You guys can go ahead, you can register yourself, and you can try it out for yourself. Now, there are going to be the multiple references over here. This is going to have those indicator of compromises over here. These are going to be, lot of the file hashes that you'll be seeing around 21 entries. And here, they have the CVE, I think, exploited over there. You can just simply go ahead and look for the CVE as well. Okay, so out of 21 few entries I'm seeing, if I will go next, some domains are also listed over here. Very good thing. So we now know the about the domains as well, which we have to check as well, right? So you can see bestonlinefilmstudio.org, blockchain new tech, CC, waterfall, chain grow, right? So these kind of a thing is sound interesting, and their method personally I also like. Right? What kind of the technique later on I'll be jumping onto this part as well, that how what they are using, how they are utilizing over here. All this is going to be the part which you'll be looking. Now we have opened that CVE. I opened that link, and you can see what the CVE is all about. It's the severity level attack complexity is low, means people with the the bare minimum knowledge can also go ahead and exploit these things, right? So here is a lot of the resources which we can read about onto this one. There are some related pulse, other people who has published about this as well. You can see under the related pulse. So as you can see, different your cyber hunter NL, like different people who publish those threat intelligence, they are giving you the data as well. So Yara dump abuse.ch, very good one. Okay, so you got those as well. So you can be seeing all these, further related resource to this one. So similar to this, you can go ahead, you can gain the more and more insight over here. I would say, because one thing is going with the your proprietary one, and one thing is getting your open source resources as well. That is going to be over there. So threat actor, ride the hype of newly released Arc browser, and targeting people. Again, some of the IOCs are going to be over there, again containing IPv4 domain hashes over there, and all these things, right? So you will be getting those IOCs which you will be looking for over there, right? Now these things are going to be over there, and you will see submit sample, okay, here. And if you will see on the top, you can go ahead and download these particular that intelligence as well. Okay, you can then apart from this, if you will be having, you can go to your account, you can get your APIs, right? You can see the option API integration. You can use the API and you can integrate it into your threat intelligence portal over there. Oh, sorry, to my your SIM portals as well, right? So you can integrate the your account with the API integration over there. Although I'm not going to click on this one because it will be showing me my my Alien Vault OTX keys as well, and it will be having some direct connect agents as well. Okay, through the taxi server as well, through the direct connect agent as well. Like if you are using Bro IDS, Suricata, right? Again, open source one. There is going to be the direct connect agent for them. Okay, Level Blue, you are using Level Blue OSSIM or Level Blue USM. Okay, if you are using them, direct connector, again, those level blue is again going to be related to your Alien Vault itself. And then there is going to be the, some of the taxi servers which you can go ahead and you can, through the taxi server, you can go ahead and you can get those integration to yourself as well. If you only want to download this particular, related pool, uh, obviously, you will be having the answers to go ahead and go with all these options to download the stick format, open IOC format, to the your CSV format. You will be having those options for yourself on these particular parts itself, right? So you can just simply go ahead and enjoy this, one of the very efficient one. You can look via the if there is a malware cluster you can utilize as well, like if you are going to debug group, right? So you'll open that there is going to be the, it is a backdoor of the resources, and there are going to be the 802 of the count of these, related pulse to this one. Okay, so it will let you open all the related pulse over here. Okay, 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 they're just loading. right? So this is going to give you the idea into the threat and the threat intelligence, and by now it has just loaded all of these your related calls to this way. So who are using this family of the malware? What are their IOCs? You'll be getting the idea into all these particular kind of scenarios over here. Okay. Now, once we have all these ideas running over here, okay. So this is one thing in the threat intelligence. I think we discussed them on the part. Second thing is that I wanted to talk about that, SIM solution. So I was telling you that, might be if you are lucky, I will be showing you bit on the, your my Microsoft Sentinel portal itself. Okay, although it is not going to have a lot of an incident because just for the testing purpose I have created it. So yeah, again, in a lot of the security event I'm collecting on the left hand side, if you will be seeing, there is going to be the threat intelligence that I'm connecting over there, right? So there are 6 threat intelligence alerts as well. Great. 165 indicators, 165K indicators, and you can see as I'm going ahead, I have integrated it over there, and you can see some of the your resources are going to be the part over here, right? So you can see all these things on the particular part side over here. Okay. So in the last 24 hours, no alerts, your no events are going on, but eventually no alerts are going to be over there, right? So this is going to be the one part. Now, what we can do, and one thing which I found very hard, earlier it was very easy to include this uh, this particular Alien Vault OTX into the Sentinel. Now it has changed few things. So I hope, soon it will be something like, working more elegantly against. Okay, now when we were talking about all these scenarios, so this is going to be a cloud-based SIM solution. You might be very familiar with this something like which is on-prem ones. So it has changed the landscape. If I want to deploy a SIM solution for myself, it is going to get deployed within the, I would say hours. You can get it up and running, and within few hours, a day or two, you'll be having very efficiently running. You will be seeing that you are you're starting fine tuning your alerts. You start fine tuning your, events and gathers and all. So there is going to be the, your things like the event. Okay, now you'll be seeing in the particular, the defensive side of security, 3 things you need to, be very aware of. And guys, if you are aware about them, just do let me know your thinking. So there are going to be the generally 3 things. There is going to be the events, there is going to be the alert, and then there is going to be the incident, right? So again, I will give you a few minutes, around a minute of a time to type your answer. What you think about the three: event, alert, and incident. Event is anything that you're doing into your systems, in your application. I'm going ahead, I'm logging in, right? I failed. Means I have a failed attempt of logging in. Let's say that I forgot my password. Instead of capital letter, I write a small letter. It is a failed attempt. What it is just an event. And whatever you will be doing in your devices, in your organization, it will generate a trail, right? And that those things are going to be called logs. And event, if I will say very properly, event is going to be any observable occurrence within the system, devices, or the application. It can be any routine, informational, or indicative potential issue. Anything. Right? I fail to log in, I success, anything. I open a file, I close a file. So events are going to be generated by a various source like system logs, security tools, user action, network activity. For example, successful login attempt, failed login attempt, application crashes, antivirus software, it detects suspicious activity, firewall log showing any unusual traffic pattern. Everything is the event, right? I open a file, I'm reading through file, close file, system crash, my application crash. Everything is going to be an event, right? But event does not means that it is suspicious, or anything. No, it is just simply an event. Now there is going to be the second thing, which is going to be the alert. So, alert is notification, which is going to be triggered by a very specific event, okay, which is not showing its normal behavior, which is deviating from its expected behavior. So it is designed to inform a relevant personnel, a team, that something requires your attention. Okay, not all event are going to generate your, alert. Okay, there are alerts, they are going to be typically configured based on the predefined rule, a threshold you will define. Like you will say that if in 30 minutes there are five failed logon attempts, okay, each fail is a single event, five failed event of failed login, and then there is a successful login, okay, five or more. So what I did, I define a predefined set right over here. So that is going to be one of the things, right? Failed attempt and successful event. And then there is going to be the, your alert over here. And, you will be getting an alert. That situation is alarming, require your attention. So the purpose of alert is to bring any potential risk or anomalous event to the attention of security team for further investigation. And it could be totally a natural thing as well. This happened with me sometime, I think few days back. I was trying to log in into one of my sandbox environment, and I just forgot the password. I'm having too many passwords to remember. So I keep forwarding, keep forwarding, keep forwarding. So I think 5 to 7 failed attempt was there from my end, and then there was successful attempt. So it is an alert. Yes, it requires your investigation. So you should be making sure that is it a threatening situation or not. So this is going to be one thing. Apart from this, like antivirus software detecting any known malware signature in your system, firewall, it is blocking any unauthorized access to a critical system. Even disk space, which is reaching at a very critically low level, which is going to be, sometime it is a sign of a, that your device is infected by malware like Trojan or anything, that your memory is being consumed too much, your disk space is getting too less, over here. So these are the some of the indications. Now, as we are talking ahead over there, with these things, there is going to be the incident. Now, incident is going to be a specific kind of negative event which is going to disrupt your normal operation, service, and data integrity. It requires intervention, and it need to be investigated to be resolved. These could be triggered by different factor like security breaches, system outage, human error, and even your natural disasters, right? It is also an incident over there. So the key distinction between an event and an incident is the impact on the operations. So event may be precursor to the incident, but not all event is going to lead to your disruption over there. So for example, if you might have heard ransomware attack that is going to encrypt a very critical data, a major system outage that is going to take down essential application, a data breach which is exposing sensitive customer information, and then a denial of service attack which is flooding the website of the traffic, making it inaccessible. This is going to be the some of the examples. And if I make an analogy to further clarify the difference, so think of a smoke detector. Okay, now smoke itself is an event. Then the alarm triggered by the smoke detector is the alert. And the actual fire that caused the smoke is going to be the incident over there. Now, these things are very, you know, neatly discussed in the course of your CYSA plus itself. So I think with the example of smoke detector over here, you guys have very good idea now what is going to be the difference between these. Now, like I was showing you, the Microsoft Sentinel is kind of the one of the SIM solution. Now, in my CYSA session, personally, because I am having the access to this one, for me it is free, so I can create environment. Being an MCT comes with bit of a perks. So I can create an environment here, show these things to you guys as well sometime, that how the cloud, cloud-based SIM solution they're working, how they are perfect to pitch in and to work with as well. So you'll be seeing those kind of a things over here. So here I just show you the example that you will see events, a lot of events you'll be seeing over there. If I just simply go to the last 30 days of my data, so you will see around 20 alerts I got, somewhere around 16 incident I have got. And if you will be going into the events, there are 19.5 million events, right? Not all the 19.5 million events are going to be my alert or the incident over there. Okay, so when we are talking about these things, these are obviously going to be running with these scenarios over there. Okay, now when we are talking about all of these scenarios over here, so this is just a demo environment. Huh? If you'll be going into the active environment, I think many of you guys will be familiar. What happen is there are going to be the billions and trillions of the events happening over there, right? So you have to define the alert. You have to go ahead and define your alerts, define your incident, what you're going to classify as the incident over here. Now, next thing, moving ahead, I will show you some examples as we keep moving ahead, using these things. Now, next thing in the phase is going to be, I think I actually deep dive too much into the part, which was the detecting and analyzing. So, I discussed threat intelligence over there, few other things, which will be making our rest of the journey much easier. Next is going to be the spotting the threat, detecting and analyzing your security incidents over there. Now, when we talk about the security incident over there, so first of all, I have clearly mentioned what is going to be my goal. So the primary objective of containment is to stop the incident from spreading further and causing those additional damage over there. So this can be achieved through the different method depending on the nature of the incident, such as you can go ahead. Oh, again, I think I'm still okay. Oh, sorry, I'm still on the page of the detecting and analyzing over here. Okay, so uh, yeah, I was talking about the containing the incident. Okay, but if we will talk about the last slide, which is talking about the detecting and analyzing. So goal, I think by now we are very clear. We need to analyze the log and system activity to identify or to detect a threat. We need to review the affected file system, and we need to start interviewing employee who may have been impacted. That how, like for example, if their system crashed, so I'll be asking them simple question. Okay, when you leave yesterday, was it working fine? What changes do you make? I will be coming back, I will be asking them that when you notice this problem, when it happens. So this will be helping us to pinpoint a timeline, a thing which can help my investigative team further. So as I was going ahead and I was talking about the containment, right? So okay, okay, John is saying okay, right. So when we talk about your containment, so we are stopping the spread over here. We don't want any further additional damage, so we are just going to protect it. So what is going to happen is we are going to do things like isolating the infected system to prevent them from communicating with the other devices on the network. Means simply, if we are connected on a network and you have a subnet, okay, multiple subnets within a network, and there are multiple devices connected in each of the subnet. If this device is infected in here in the subnet, it might spread into its subnet and then it can jump into the neighbor one. So first I will try to isolate this subnet, then I will try to isolate this machine from here. So I want to stop the spread of this malware over here. So I'm isolating those infected system, communicating so that they can't communicate with the other devices. We will disable the compromised account to prevent the attacker from using them, and we'll be shutting down a specific service or application that may be vulnerable. Remember, this is again, when you are going to, let's say, if I have to stop a very specific service and application, I need to take decision quick. I might need to reach out to the stakeholders as well. Why? Reason being that I can't take those decisions on my own, right? So there will be the different part, and that's why that planning comes in, because you will be preparing a team which will be containing its stakeholder, HRs, PR, marketing guys, different manager, network manager. You are from the IT manager, admin managers. Different people will be the part of it, and sometimes you have to take a swift decision, a quick decision regarding these kind of a thing in the containment, because it might be asking you to unplug a device, remove a device, stop a service, stop an application. Now you have to weigh that if I will let it run, how much impact it is going to make, and or how much it is going to be make those impact on the organization, how much my organization will be losing, like impact or reputation impact I'm going to take, how much financial impact I'm going to take as compared, both situation you'll be comparing and you'll be going ahead over there, right? So this is going to be the one of the thing. Then, you have to remember that the swift containment is very important to maintain the, or I would say to minimizing the attack surface and to prevent attacker from establish a foothold within your network over there, right? So this is going to be the another very important task that we have to perform at this stage over there. Then next thing is eliminating the threat, eradicating the root cause over there. Now, in the next stage, when we will be moving ahead, we will be removing the malware from the infected system. So when we talk about this, one thing, we have already contained my threat. Now my focus will be shifted to the eradicating the root cause. So, which is the underlying issue that is allowing the incident to happen. Now, this can be due to the lot of the thing. Okay, so in this stage, when I'm saying eradicating, I might be going ahead and I might be removing the malware. So I found out it is happening because there is a very specific file in my system, very specific process is running. Maybe I'm going to into, might be you have seen, even when I'm doing something like maintaining the access phase of attack. So I used to go ahead in the temp folder and create a particular, you know, service running from there. Okay. And that service is running, that program is running from there. It is injecting itself something, with the help of CMD, try to change few things. So they're running from there. So I will find the root cause. I will try to remove it. That okay, what is causing it? Okay, what, maybe attacker has created some of the like a cron job into your system, which is scheduled task into your lab. So you'll find what is the causing it, why it is running every time, and you'll try to remove them, the delete them over there. Okay, so that is the part of eradication. So when we talk about this phase, it might involve removing the malware from the infected system, patching the vulnerabilities in the software and system. So, and third thing, changing the compromised credential. Now, if we talk about these scenarios, we have to be a bit smart over here. Why? Let's say that you are having a system which is still running with the Windows 7 or Windows XP right now. Maybe some compatibility issue or something that you are not upgrading this, but due to this it keep getting compromised. So legacy system here is going to be the challenge for you. So with the legacy system challenge, you will be doing what? You will be changing all, you'll be going ahead patching those system. I would say that I will not patch this, I would say remove it. But if you there will be something like you're using Windows Server 2022, you are using the Windows 11, if there comes any vulnerability, you'll be patching that on the software and everything, patch them properly. Okay, changing the compromised credentials. So if we found that some account is part of the leak, so I will be quickly going ahead and data breach leak, all the time. If you go to the dark net, people are selling the data breach data, data breach over there. So whatever the, information credential they have gathered, they will be auctioning it off. So if they're auctioning it off, you'll be going ahead, compromising them, changing those data over there, changing those passwords. Those will be the part of the eliminating the threat intelligence. Then next is going to be your getting back on track, which is restoring the system and the data over there. Now, this again is going to be the one of the very important thing that you are doing. So I remove the malware over there. Okay, now maybe it has damaged some system, damaged some files. Now it's time for me, like for the very basic example of ransomware, it has encrypted my data. So I remove the cause, I eradicate it from that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to restore my data from the backups over there, right? So the recovery stage is going to involve restoring affected system and data to a functional state. So backup, they are playing a very vital role here as they allow any organization to restore a clean, uncompromised data and minimize the downtime over there. So you will be going ahead and you will be restoring it from the, I would say, you'll be going ahead and you will be restoring it just like, okay, yeah, I lost it, my track of thoughts over here. Okay, so as we were talking about the eradication, so you'll be going ahead sorry, we are talking about the restoring the system over there. So you'll be going ahead, you'll be retrieving the lost or damaged data over there, and you'll be going ahead and restoring the system and data as well over there. Like I was saying, so right now ransomware affects something from the backup. You are going to go ahead and you are going to get your data. So on that part, so when we were talking about the retrieving, so you are retrieving lost, damaged data, corrupted data. Then once you do that, you'll be testing the functionality of that restore system and data to ensure everything working correctly. And it is not only related to data. Sometime what will happen is, account which we have blocked, we will be, reintroduce it back. Now, all the roles, permissions that this account was having, I have to restore those things back as well over there, right? So all these things are going to be the part which we will be looking forward over there. So we will be working around this. We'll be just storing it, testing it that yes, whether it is working perfectly fine, just like prior to incident or not. That is going to be the one thing which you will be focusing on over here, right? So this thing is getting, helping you to get back on the track, restoring the system, restoring the data over there, and have those kind of a thing. Now, I will come to the part where I keep begging all the organizations that please do better and do not leave this thing. So even though this is just a free webinar, still I'm going to tell everyone that post incident activities are important, most important. So might be you not have time, usually what happen after an incident, you will be sitting together and getting your brain around the report. And there are two kind of the evidence. One is going to be the objective and one is going to be the subjective kind of evidences over there. One is going to talk about the hard fact, hard evidence that you have, and one is going to be, you will be deriving from your experience that if this happened, this might would have happened, which causes this. From your experience, you will be creating a story and narrative over there. So you will be discussing these things and creating a lesson learned report that what you have learned and what could have been done better to stop those attacks from happening. Now, again, I will say that focus on this thing because this is the thing which will be making you better. I know you will not have time to sit after every incident. So what you can do, you can fix kind of a weekly meeting or in 15 days that after the in those meetings, whatever incident has happened till now, small, medium, and after a big incident, obviously you are going to sit together. You can't ignore those. Medium level or the the severity is medium, high. Okay, so you'll be obviously doing that. But if there is a low severity incidents as well, so collect them and when throughout the week you have multiple of those incidents, then go ahead and discuss that. Learn from the experience, review and improve yourself. This is something that I have given this the title. So final stage of the incident response life cycle focuses on learning from the experience over there. So you will be reviewing the incident response process and identify the area where you need to improve yourself. Then you will be going ahead and you will be updating the incident response plan based on the lesson learned incident, and you'll be communicating the incident finding to the correct, finding and corrective action should be taken to the relevant stakeholder such as management and affected user. You will tell them what needs to be done. So I will again said, if anything happen, we can learn from our mistakes, even learn from the others mistake. So what you will do, whatever has been done, you'll prepare something like LLR, which is called lesson learned report, or after action report. You will go with this thing and you will be simply saying that's it. We have to do this thing in the future so that we can have a better focus, better picture in the future, and we can detect these threats on time. We can go ahead and stop them from happening. Now, next, we'll be talking about developing a robust incident plan. And I think because I have discussed threat intelligence and others too much in depth, I think you will be good to go very quickly over this particular topic because what we are doing, we are preparing your organization to effectively respond to the security threat. So the planning phase, I have gone ahead and took a bit of a time to just go ahead and talk with that. Okay, so you are going to go ahead. That's why I was taking a bit of a time earlier as well. That you have to consider here that how you should be doing it, who should be the team member and everything. Now, first thing is, like I was explaining to you earlier, why you should be needing an incident response plan, right? So there is obviously some time then you will be facing the incident. Even though I have created these demo things, if you'll be going into the incident section of this demo part, okay, in my yesterday session as well, when I was talking about the continuous monitoring, I was showing the same thing, right? Using these factors, you will see medium, medium, medium severity level to the high severity level as well. So when you will be jumping onto these things, if you go onto the part of this, yesterday I was showing you the Solarigate, network beacon in the yesterday's uh, session as well. So if you'll be looking into this one right now, if you'll be seeing the alert timeline, I want to show you something. Incidents keep going on. Now on the this side over here, this is actually a new experience. The new portal going on from around a year. If I will just slow it down, so if you will see in here that this incident of Solarigate network beacon found in my network. So again, I found what I was investigating this event and I found an indicator, an IOCs. What I did, I was, first I got some alerts. Okay. So when I was going ahead and I threw the, logs, I was trying to go ahead and I was trying to just see them what these logs are all about. Go forward and I found some DNS name, some IP addresses over there. So what I did using these things, these were some of the indicator of compromises. Now I want to include a bit of a threat hunting here. So what I did, I go from here and I jump into the part of doing the, your threat hunting. And when I was going with these things, okay, so these things, I go ahead, I was doing bit of the threat hunting. Now I was having these evidence. So you will see, first of all, this alert is makeup of your multiple, sorry, this incident has been created by the 6 alerts over there. Okay. All these 6 alerts combinedly giving me the incident. So multiple time what will happen, an incident could be generated by the multiple of the alert itself. So all these alerts are saying that they are related and look into us. We want to tell you a story, what has happened. So they told me that there are some of the domains and IP addresses which is known for spreading the, your Solarigate network beacons. Okay, familiar with this one. So they said me that, okay, go ahead and investigate this thing. So I just simply go ahead, I investigated, I found more of the evidences over there. When I found more of the evidences, you will see I just simply included them onto these part, right? I go there, I found these parts, and you will see, these are created by Rishabh. Okay. So this was, detected by the Microsoft Sentinel. Okay. And here I found further more evidences. I attached them over here. Now what this gives me, the part over here on the left hand side, if you will be seeing, I will go on to the entity section. It gives me the more of the evidences over there. It gives me the entities. Remember, we were talking about the incident life cycle containing them. Now I found PCs and account which was affected by these two. So now I have more entities to deal with. All these things. Now I can go, I can disable these accounts. I can go, I can, kind of deallocate these particular hosts from the system, okay, and go ahead, even run investigation on them. I can go ahead and run some playbook like automation on the IP addresses, which will give me the more details that which zone it belongs to or anything. So these kind of a thing, one by one, you'll be going ahead, you'll be investigating, you'll be finding the more evidences, and you'll be working with them, right? So when you will be properly able to do these things, when you will have a proper plan ready for yourself. Okay. So when we are talking about this, you are going to see all these things happening here and there. Okay. Now, with these things, when you got these more of evidences over there, I further investigated. I think I didn't. Yeah. So if you will see what I have performed, I have put them into the comments as well as a total as one over here. So you will see that I identify the network beaconing domain. I use hunting query to look for more affected hosts, found two additional hosts that was affected, added evidence to the incident, added IP address to the IOC, and handed over operation team for the isolation. So this is that detection phase that we were talking about. So these things I have done over here that you should be performing now the isolation of these devices, these resources over here, right? So this is the one thing. Now, as I was talking about, that why do we need the response plan? So because I was prepared for something like this, so it is going to reduce my downtime impact of incident. So I have handed over it to the incident response team. Now, if they will be prepared in advance for something like that, Solarigate happened somewhere around end of 2020, right? So, they should be taking that into the account. They should be prepared for that. It will reduce our downtime, even impact of the incident as well. It will enable us to coordinate better, and it will be how the better we can go ahead and respond to the situation. We'll be prepared for that. It will minimize any of the confusion, and it will be helping us to improve the decision making. I could have some workbook related to this one, that what to do next, okay, how it will be, how these devices should be isolated, then you know eradication, how we should perform eradication. Everything could be over the part. Then it will be helping us to make sure that we are even compliant with the regulation. We are taking action on the incident, and we are properly protecting the data of our users as well. Then when we talk about them, just like if you're a Marvel fan, knowingly I have died put over here, and you might be waiting for Captain America to say those golden word, Avengers assemble, right? So how you will be assembling your team over here is going to deal with that. So there is going to be the assemble your team. So just like Avengers assemble, we are going to assemble our incident response team. Now remember, with the evidence, with your team that you are going ahead, you need to have different, those areas that where they are working. You need to have some security analysts, obviously, right? Who will be handling the incident, detecting them, what to do with them. You require them, right? Who can identify issues security related. Then IT specialist. So if I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to isolate a device, how it should be done properly. Okay, if any replacement is required. Okay, so how that should be done? That will be the IT specialist. Then if breaches are higher, so okay, if you guys might have heard like the or deal with the HIPAA. Okay, we have HIPAA, we have GDPR. So they have the different requirement. If there is going to be the bigger breach affecting 250 people, 500 people, what is it is going to ask you? Those make you necessary that you should be releasing a public, you know, uh, like a public statement after the incident. So, obviously, if, to be honestly speaking, if someone will give me this job that I have to release the public statement regarding the incident, trust me, I will create panic in the public, right? So that's why you will be having someone from your PR team who will be handling that, how the press release should be done, how interacting with the affected candidate, going to be over there and all. And obviously, last thing, it is going to go ahead and it is going to let you know how to handle your legal and compliance matter over there, right? So from legal team, because anything you are doing, even you are thinking about collecting the forensic evidences, those things should be properly your, I would say, in accordance to law, right? And I'm no expert in the law, so someone who will be expert in the law will be guiding you that how these things should be done over there. Okay. Now, when we are talking about all these things, going ahead and working with this, so what are the some key element to your incident response plan? That is going to be your detection and analysis procedure, your containment strategies, eradication technique, recovery procedure, communication protocol, escalation procedure, document and training. All these I have highlighted as a key element. So, how to identify and analyze the potential incident first. Then, methods to stop it, the incident from spreading. Then, how you are going to go ahead and eradicate that. Then, obviously, you'll be talking about the recovery procedure. that once it is eradicated, restore affected thing, then how you will be communicating. Clear guideline for internal and external communication during the incident, because my communication channel can also be compromised. Then there is going to be your escalation procedure, that how to escalate incident to the senior management or to the law enforcement. Okay, and then there is going to be the document, that is going, documentation and training over there. So maintaining the record of the incident and providing the training for your response team is going to be something that is going to be important. Now, when we talk about these trainings, it reminds me that test, train, adapt, which means maintain your incident response plans. Effectiveness is going to be the very important over there. Now, when we talk about this, regularly testing the plan, whether it is going to work in those situations or not, is going to be very important. I don't want that, we have a plan, we jump in and we found out, oh no, this is not working. Now what to do, right? So properly, because if threat is evolving, you should be evolved as too, as well over here. So what you will do, you will do things like the tabletop exercise and walkthrough. So similarly, what it is, if people you have take the participation in that, you will be familiar. Else, just to tell you that you'll do like simulate an incident scenario and practice the response procedure in the tabletop. But how? You will be going through and you will be doing what? You'll be having place card, and in response to an incident will be given to you and then ask you. Then in your place card, you will be saying that what you will be doing next, what to take next. It is just simply that kind of a preparation. There should be the walkthrough, hands-on, lot of things. So walkthrough will be step by step to identify that what is the potential gap over there. Then you'll be doing the full demos over there, where you will be going with the actual simulation, which we call the, what we can do the simulations based training as well. So simulation will be, we'll be creating an environment where you will be simulating that, like you have those fire drills, right? So you will go, you'll be saying that, okay, this attack has happened. Now practically, let's just get into this one and work with this scenarios over there. And in the end, you know be prepared, respond with the confidence, which means you need to have a documented plan. So if you'll be having documented plan, it will be minimizing the confusion and panic during the incident, because sometimes incident get worst out of the people, right? You start quarreling between you're fighting with your own teammate, which is not good. Okay, so minimize the confusion and the threat incident over there. You need to go ahead and enable a swift and coordinated response, and you need to reduce the downtime and the potential damage. It is all possible through the proper incident response over there. Now, we have talked a lot over the incident. Let's just jump into the you know uh, particular of the threat landscape over here, and what it is going to be having for us. So when we talk about the evolving threat, so I just noticed the time, I think I go too much in deep. So next 10 15 minutes I would also like to give somewhere around the threat and threat hunting as well. So when we'll be talking about this, we are going to go ahead and we are going to be talking about understanding the evolving threats, which is the shifting landscape of your cybersecurity over here. Now, when we talk about this over here, in this one, we'll be starting with the staying ahead of the cyber attack in this digital age. Now, guys, you must have heard that there are just simply attacks on a rise, okay, on a high rise. Every day there are news, this has been affected, those data has been breached. All these information is going to be over there. So what I always say is that, when we are talking about this staying ahead of the attackers, so whenever you're going to go ahead and talk about all these scenarios, things over there. So when we talk about cybersecurity field, okay, it always keep me on my toes. Here you are never going to get a dull movement, what we call. So what is happening? All of the time, threats, they keep evolving themselves, okay, which required a very continuous vigilance over there, okay, from ourselves. And it's a news, as you are hearing. Why I'm saying this thing, I will be taking you to the MITRE frame where I can talk about that as well. So you'll be seeing attackers, they are improving, they are, their tactics, their techniques keep changing. So also we need to be very courageous, very ahead of them. Okay. So we are seeing there are, lot of the areas where we require to be aware. We require to be more frequent and updating ourselves as well. So you will never get a dull moment in the cybersecurity, and the threat hunting part, which will be going, is going to be something where you require a good amount of knowledge of yours as well. Now, when we talk about the art of deception, that how attackers they change their game, so there are always they will be coming up with the new techniques. Just like few minutes ago I opened that North Korean based threat actor, right, for you guys. So that North Korean based threat actor, that what it was called, stock something like that, right? Moonstone stale, Moonstone SARS, something like that, right? So what they are doing nowadays, they are just going ahead and they are having what, they are creating fake companies, and giving you the data, the files, and kind of forcing you to download some apps, games, and then attacking you. So what these things are, I think you might have heard the terms like APTs, ransomware. So APT is advanced persistent threat, which is highly targeted attack against the specific organization. So these groups are usually, you'll be finding the criminal group, right? Criminal, or the well-funded group which have the good funding, good knowledge. They use this knowledge for their gain, espionage, and all these things. They will be using the different methodology. They will be using ransomware, different malwares. Okay, they'll be using something like a fileless malware, which is make its name quite since 2018 when it first emerged. You know, so the Dark Comet was, not the Dark Comet. I think the Dark Avenger, and all these were the very first generation of these, fileless malwares. So finest malware, ransomware, which is going ahead installing into your system and simply encrypting all your data and asking you ransom that if you want your files back, pay us in the Bitcoin. So for all those people, you have to be prepared in the advance. So you'll be doing those, you will be performing, there is going to be the phishing attack sending you that, yo, buddy, you have win the lottery, right? So go ahead and do these things. So, just obvious, always you'll be, on your toes. You're, they not only target you, but also your supply chain. So for example, if, I'm having vendor, when we are talking about, all these vendors, so they could be targeting my vendor as well. They know that I am going to utilize a software development kit from their particular organizations. They might be looking target them, so that when I use them, so they, I'm also going to go ahead and get infected with that. So, not only you, your supply chain will be under the threat as well. And that's why what we required, is called something like a proactive hunt over there. So that's why I'm saying why waiting is losing strategy. So first of all, if I have to define threat hunt, okay, how many of you are familiar with this something like called threat hunting? So as a security analyst and investigator, you need to be, proactive, right, about looking for security threat. I'm clearly saying here that the why waiting is a losing strategy, the importance of threat hunting, and very specifically proactive threat hunting. Okay, you can do the threat hunting on all the stages, during the attack, after the attack, or proactive as well. Being, you have both things, proactive, reactive, and even during the attack as well, right? But I would say being proactive is going to be something which will be, helping you to win the battle against the threat attacks. So when we talk about the threat hunting, so there are going to be the, your various, as a, if I will talk about as a security analyst and investigator, we want to be proactively looking into the security threat. But your various system and security appliances, they are going to generate mountain of data, and that can be difficult to parse and filter into the something meaningful event over there. Now, with the hunting queries, tools, you can hunt for the security threat across your organization data source. Now, it will help any security analyst to look very proactively for new anomalies, which is generally not detected by your security apps, okay, or by, your scheduled, events by the SIM solution. If they will miss anything, it can be go over there. Now, for threat hunting, something you require is your experience, your brain, your knowledge of the field over there, right? So when we talk about the threat hunting, you will be required, say anything that is missed by them. That's why I started with the incident. So if something missed, event, alert, incident, that format, and it still goes ahead. And for this thing, you need to be aware about the field. For example, I showed you the threat intelligence part. Now, if we will talk about the threat intelligence, so for example, one built-in query, it is going to provide you the data about the, let's say, most uncommon process that is running into your infrastructure. Now, not all the time you will be wanting that, there are event, there is an incident, and there is going to be the event, alert, and incident. Okay, so this kind of the thing is going to be over there: event, alert, and incident. If something is missed, you not detect it, and your threat hunter will be having a task to detect those things which might be missed by your SIM solution. Why? Because you don't have right now the proper way of detecting that threat. And to gain themselves that insight, they might need to be familiar with the threat intelligence landscape. Okay, they might be familiar with the new attacks, like we were talking about that new North Korean attacker group. So when they will be aware, they said, okay, they are using this new tactics. Let's go ahead. It might be missed by my SIM solution. Why? Because we haven't planned for that. And now I will be going ahead, sitting with my threat hunting team and look for those kind of a threats over there. Now, one more thing is, you know, we always don't want getting ourselves alert. For example, like I was telling you, that there is a built-in query which can give me alert that if any uncommon process is running into my infrastructure. So I don't want alert every time that they are running, right? Those things can be purely innocent, right? But I want to take a look at this particular thing so that if anything unusual about it, like might be a process which is very rarely running onto your system, and if every time it is generating alert going to the incident, you know with my incident team getting into that one, so I don't want every time that happen, but still I want to investigate that whether it is very curious or not. So with the threat hunting, I can separately look on it without generating any alert or incident, and burdening my incident response people with that. So I can investigate it. If I found that this is an issue, I can go ahead and update it as an incident and let them handle it, guide them that what to do and how to do these things over there. Right? Now, when we are talking about all these things, so what will be happening with this one? When we talk about threat hunting, there are two kind of the threat hunting. Okay. Now, what are those two kind of a threat hunting over there? It is, let me erase everything from here. Okay, threat hunting is going to be of the two types. First is going to be your unstructured threat hunting. Okay, for this thing you will be requiring kind of a data, which is going to go with your uh, you know, your guts, your knowledge. So you read about something, you don't have a proper idea that what is happening. You are going through the logs, you are going through the lot of the data you will be requiring for this one. Data means log coming from multiple places, like I was talking about the unusual processes. So you are just looking for that thing that, whether this case seems curious or not. You're just going wayward and looking for that. Second thing is going to be called your structured threat hunting. So when you will be going with this structured threat hunting, what is going to be over there? You have an idea that, very specifically, you are looking for a very specific APT group, right? What kind of tactics they use. Okay. Now, what kind of the techniques, TTP, what we call techniques they use, and what kind of the procedures they use, TTPs. And you have to keep it, yourself alert about it. So let's say that, there was one day your team is saying that, okay, this new campaign is going on, and let's just look into our system. Now, because might be something might not be deployed in this, we have a hypothesis. So this kind of the, campaign is being run nowadays. Now, in those kind of a thing, platforms like MITRE might help you. So you got the information on the your that North Korean based group. Now you want to go ahead and you want to look it over here with the help of the MITRE framework. So this is a framework which is going to give you the insight onto the lot of the thing, right? For example, right now my focus is, let's say that my threat hunting is going on based on the some APT groups. So what I will do, I will be going ahead and I will be looking on to the, there are usually the enterprise metrics that is being used a lot of time, right? So you could be looking into those particular kind of resources as well. So I might be looking into the groups, who is doing the attack, how they are doing it. Okay, I'm going into the different resources as well. So I will be going to the CTI, threat intelligence. I'm picking up on some groups, and you will see that there is going to be a lot of the groups that is going to be on this part. So you will see Eldrin, APT18. They might be known as a different name. That there is going to be a detail about them, so from when they were going ahead and working. So you will find all the things over there. This is a whole list of the group that is, targeting people all around the globe, right? So you'll be starting with those kind of a thing, like, you can see FinTen. So FinTen is financially motivated threat group. So what are the financially motivated threat groups? These groups are those who are making life in the, say, by doing these cyber crimes. Okay, they are in for the financial profit over there, financial gain over there. They will leak data, they will sell it out, and then they will be simply getting more money out of this. So this has targeted the North America since 2013 to 2016, and the group has stolen and the stolen data exploitation from victim to extort organizations over there. So you can see the different groups that is being active over here. For example, let's just pick Fin7. Okay. So if you go to the Fin7, you will see that they are being renowned as the different name that was given to them. You'll see Gold Niagara, ITG14, Carbon Spider, Elibris. So what happened is how they were behaving over the year based on their tactics, techniques, tools that they were using, the different that intelligence group they were researching them, they have given it a different name, right? And then they were combined into the one. So it is a financially motivated group that is active from 2013 and is targeting retail, restaurant, hospitality, software, consulting, financial firms, and multiple cloud service, media, food, beverages, and lot of the industries in the USA, right? So it is run out of front company called CompTIA and often use point of sale POS malwares targeting the effort. Now we are learning over there. So they have shifted the operation to the big game hunting approach, including the re-evil ransomware. Okay, their own ransomware as a service attack. Okay, it may be linked to the Carbonite group as well. So you are seeing very interesting fact you are getting. So if I am someone who has the idea that what happens is you create your hypothesis, you create that why this group will be targeting you. If you are, let's say, running a retail store, large retail store in the US, and it could be a potential attacker who can attack us. Now, in threat hunting, my target become what? So let's just go ahead and investigate, this particular kind of a user over there. Now, you will see here, it is known with the, these associated name. They use these multiple tactics, T185, acquiring infrastructure, domain, acquiring infrastructure, web services, what they do. If you open them, you will see that, using which techniques they are working. One by one, you will be looking over here. So what technique they use, it will be giving you the idea. Sorry. Not only that, also the software that is going to be in the par, they are just looking into this one. Okay, great. So, a lot of the software. Now, why I am looking this and why, we will be doing, if IOC is available, why I am doing threat hunting? Thing is that, these things might be outdated. What happened is that they are not going to keep the same tactics technique means yeah tactics technique might be same, but the same software, same IP addresses, because usually IOC deals with what? IOC deals with the things like the IP addresses, signatures, right? URL, domain, these things. And attackers are not going to always use the same IP address. Yes, for a particular time period they might use, but not always. So these things might be skipped from our SIM solution. It might my SIM solution might not be able to detect it. My firewall might not be able to block those kind of access. So if I know that this could target us, why don't I go ahead and check that? I will create a hypothesis that they might be going ahead and targeting us, and I want to see that whether or not I will be the part of these, resources over there. So usually what you can do, you will come here, techniques that they are using, you will come to this, you'll be going into the view field over here, and it will be creating a complete selection over there. Now, this will be mapping it to the kind of kill chain, if you have heard about that, what they are doing, in the tactic, not exactly the kill chain, right? And here you may be seeing some of the steps are missing. Okay, so not always the attackers they are going to be step by step doing thing. So these are the few techniques that they are utilizing over here. So like for example, they are trying to look for the domains, right? So what they do, they use something like exploit public facing application. So what it has done, so you see here, web services replicate, how they are doing what. So what they are doing in the resource development, 8 techniques that is there. Domains via exploit public facing services, web services, malware. So this is going to give me the all idea over there. So I go into the tool, it is going me the whole list. Target, upload malware. Now I know that all the techniques that over here that they are utilizing over there. So if you will go ahead and see that what they are doing in each stage, right? They are using JavaScript, PowerShell, okay, Visual Basic, Windows Command Center, Dynamic Data Exchange, schedule tasks to affect you. Nice, very good thing. So I'm getting an idea. So, when I'm looking into this graph and chart completely over here, what is there might be, for example, when we are seeing all this thing, I might not be having the proper detection mechanism for domain techniques over there, or I might be for I'm not looking for something like spear phishing attachment, or I'm not being accessing or looking into the something like compromising software supply chain for myself, my company. So we are trusting my supply vendor and whatever they are doing at their end, and I am not even checking on the local account properly. So what I will do now, I know that fin7 can target me. They have these tactics. Now, my threat hunting team will go ahead and then we will start first creating the hypothesis. Then we are having plan and we will be implementing it. Now we will start doing testing. Okay, let's just go ahead and last 1 week, 1 month, local account test with the help of these techniques, some of the IOCs that we have collected, start looking into them that we find any of the suspicious activity over there or not. Might be you know not for all phase we are going to have some defense mechanism or detection mechanism even. So we will go here, very important thing, registry key. So for persistence and even in your privilege escalation, they are dealing with the registry key, startup folder. So I will go and I will be using the regex tool over there, and I will be going ahead, try to have some third party tool if I am having what registries in the startup folder, whatever changes has been made in the past 1 month, who do it, using something like your sys internal suite, right? Using that and try to look what has been changed in my particular of registry folder over there. I will go ahead, hunt for that, something like that. I will go ahead and then further, I will be just jumping over here. So I will see for each phases what they are using. I will prepare a strategy for that, and I start looking and developing my own threat hunting resources. If we successfully found something, we will have our own indicator of compromises. We'll be having our own detection technique, and we can just go ahead and share and publish it for the whole community that this is going on nowadays, and just look for this. So sometime if any of the threat that has been escaped throughout your detection capability, because we are not looking into these all the parts, if somehow they miss it, my threat intelligence team, my threat in hunting team will be going in, and my threat hunters will be hunting down these things and helping me to improve my organization security and security architecture over there. Further down the line, if you want to export it, download this whole graph, prepare it as a chart, and start working from here. From the preparation. So this will be welcome move, and this is going to be the threat hunting part over there. Okay. So this is something that from where you guys will be going ahead and start the threat hunting over there. So remember, as I'm saying, be proactive, because waiting is going to be the losing game. I will wait for something to happen. Obviously, I can go ahead. Okay. I can do the threat hunting after the attack and even, you know, during the attack as well. So like I was telling you in the example earlier that I showed you on the Sentinel, that with this incident that I'm having over here, right? Solari Gate 1. So when with this one, I was having this particular incident over here. What I was doing, I was just once I found the alert, then I start looking and I go to the threat hunting and I start creating all these things, right? So this is something that was happening, and I don't want you guys to do something like this over there. I want you guys go ahead and you know upfront do those things. So if you will see, like this tool give me during the attack, I can have feature of threat hunting like live stream. I can go in here and like I this is a sample one, and if attack is still happening, I can run my query over here, and if it will do what, it will give me alert, means still attack is going on. So it is going to work with the live data. I detected something and I want to check whether it's still going on. I can put that query in the live stream and keep checking it over here. Or I will be having the queries section over here, which will be going ahead and giving you the all the threat hunting queries. You can go ahead and start working, identifying those issues, which might be a minor issues here, but can convert in the future, or which goes unnoticed via your security detection over there. So we will go ahead and we will be having resources like these. And again, threat intelligence is going to play a crucial role over there. So as a threat hunter, you have a very crucial role, because once you'll be identifying them, you'll be giving those IOCs to your security, analysts. They will be creating them. You'll be adding them into the action reports. You'll be updating your incident response plan. You'll be having then a complete incident detection, respond, containment, every plan prepare, people, the playbook, and everything. And this is how threat hunting is going to help you out with the resources over there. Okay, guys. So this is it on the today's webinar, where we talked about the incident response, means different phases of incident response. Okay. So in today's webinars, we talked about the incident response, different phases of incident response, threat hunting. Okay, why the threat hunting is important, why the proactive threat hunting is important over there, right? So this is something that we covered with the short amount of time over here.